All right, Brandon O'Doy, footballhotbed.com. Justice Fitzpatrick, if the name sounds familiar, Minka's little brother. You in your own right, you've made your own way. You're committed to Georgia. He committed to Alabama. If nothing was more clear that you guys are two different people and you're carving two other paths, that could probably be it. Saw you working out at receiver. I was like, who is that? I talked to Coach. I'm like, who's working out at receiver? Who's this new receiver you had? Turns out it was you. Anything you want to say about receiver before we get into sort of your DB exploits and all of the things you guys are looking to this season?
Yeah, a lot of people actually don't know. Even before I even got to high school, I was just a wide receiver. You know, I came to high school, I had to adapt. You know, had to get on the field, so I switched to defense. And freshman year was my first defensive snaps. You know, so we needed a little bit of senior help on the offensive side, some senior leadership. You know, I had to step up. A couple other guys too, they had to step up on the offensive side, just switch. You know, and anything from the team, I'll just go do it.
Great mentality. It probably helped out for the familiarity with your brother to switch to defense, and you got a lot of early offers. What has stood out to you in this process? You've been a pretty high prospect since, like you said, freshman year.
What has stood out to me? Well, one,
And let me be more specific.
Yeah.
I mean, the authenticity of coaches, what coaches say. You've probably seen it all, heard it all by this point. You know, what, like in the process, NIL money, you know, what from that standpoint, that's what I mean. What kind of stands out?
well, one, being a bigger recruit, you know, they're all going to have, you know, good facilities. They're going to offer good money. It's really about the man who's coaching you off the field. You know, you want to get to know the coaches off the field first. You know, you want to see what type of relationship they have with the players, how they treat the players, and how they if they treat them like an actual person. You know, not just like a player. You know, that's definitely a big thing, and how they want to see them grow and what they want to do and how they want to get them to the next level. That's definitely a big thing to see in a coach, you know, because a lot of coaches, they'll just see them as a jersey number. You know, someone gets hurt, you know, it's next man up. But you know, there's a select few that, you know, you get hurt or you fall behind, you know, they'll help you because they actually care about your future.
What is it about Coach Dante and Coach T. Rob and even Coach Kirby? You know, he coaches DBs as well. What is it about them that stood out? Their relationship with either one of those?
You know, well, with Coach Dante, you know, he just did a really good job, you know, showing how important I am to him. You know, he came down a few good times.
Yeah, I saw him down here in the spring.
Yeah.
I was here the day he was there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he came, you know, to talk to my parents. He really just showed how important I am to me getting up there. Just like how I was saying, you know, he built a good relationship with me, you know. And then obviously Coach Kirby, he helped recruit my brother when he was at Alabama, and we know what type of defensive mindset he has, and that's really.
So you've known him for a while.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so, you know, having a head coach who's a defensive minded coach is also really big. Not the biggest thing, but it's definitely big.
And it doesn't hurt how Georgia's doing in the draft with defensive guys either.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, the proof is in the pudding, you know.
Let's talk about the St. Thomas team. Matter Day right out of the gate. You speak about Coach Dante from his backyard. They're coming in, and they want blood. You know, obviously they ranked number one. You guys are ranked in the top 25. That's a tough game to play out the gate. The Wyatt kid, he's a big-time kid. You know, I got a chance to talk to him during OT7. What do you have to do? It's your team now. You're the leader. What do you have to do to get this team ready to play?
You know, we know they're definitely a great team, but I think the biggest thing is really just focusing on us. You know, minimizing mistakes. You know, playing our game. You know, a lot of people are doubting us, and we got a lot to prove, and we got a lot to show. You know, they have a lot of stars. You know, but we also have a lot of guys that are really hungry. You know. We have a lot of guys who have a lot to prove, you know, and when you got that on the team, it's really a lot that can happen.
You talk about a lot to prove. That's been kind of the mantra of being a St. Thomas Aquinas, Raider. You've had that on your back. I asked Coach Harriet about this. You know, first game, best team probably on your schedule until you get to states or the playoffs. What is it like to have to do that year in and year out? This is your fourth edition.
You know, it's a real gut check. You know, it shows you what type of team you have, especially as a senior. It shows what type of leadership you have. You know, the last few years we were in some real big dog battles, you know, and the seniors had to try and step up, you know, and it's a gut check, you know. Halftime comes, you got to talk to the team, and it's either you come back or you don't, you know. And that really, a lot of people want to save their hard games for the end of the season. You know, we bring it up front, so we know that what we did during the summer over the spring, you know, was the right stuff, and we work every day, all day, you know, and so we're always prepared for our first game.
Preparation, execution. Justice Fitzpatrick, hey, listen, one of the best. It doesn't get any better than this. 4-year varsity starter, Georgia commit, leader, captain, best program in America. Brandon Odoi, footballhotbed.com, signing off with Mr. Fitzpatrick, myself. It is a Hotbed World here at Media Day 2025.